Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Sunny here, and we got a huge patch today for better and worse. So today it is Friday the 6th. This is the global lab update, and this is your early patch notes videos. I started doing my a rundown of patch notes every Wednesday on the Korean patch, right? And a lot of people happy to do patch notes. It seems a lot of people don't realize that this is the patch notes for next week. So this patch here will be out next maintenance on Thursday, and I will be doing a rundown quick TLDR on Wednesday if there's any changes. But most of the time, this is the patch we're gonna get next maintenance 1-1. So let's get into it. There's some big stuff in here, and it looks like they're doing class balance again. Whether this is the only class balance patch or not, they don't say, but I really hope it's not. So let's just get it out of the way. There's nothing in the patch here that is straight up bad. I think why this patch, especially with the class stuff, is gonna leave a sour taste in the mouth of a lot of people is not what's in it, it's what's not in it. There's a lot of classes right now, especially in PvP, that really need some love, and there's a absence of a lot of those classes today. But let's get into it. First off here, so this is the dev note. It's very important, so I will read this, and this is the English translated version. So this is not a Google Translate, so hopefully it should be as clear as we can get, right? Today's update introduces a balance adjustment for several classes, focusing on key areas. First, we're adjusting the AP stats gained through skills, passives, and actives. This change aims to bridge the gap in monster zones entry requirements caused by varying skill effects. So basically being able to hit the AP requirements for moving on to the next zone, which is of course very important for progression. Even when characters have the same gear score, right? So that's just the AP difference on classes. While we aren't completely removing the stats difference, as some classes rely on high AP while others utilize damage reduction effects or evasion, we have narrowed the gap to ensure smooth progression while preserving class identity. This update also includes a reduction in PvP applied AP for Scholar and Awakening Wizard. And we will get to this, especially for Awakening Wizard. It seems like there's some things in this patch that is just missing in the notes. So, yeah. Or maybe they just have no idea what they're saying. It wouldn't be the first time. Next, we're removing the extra damage to blocks from all skills. Shield classes like Succession Warrior and Succession Awakening Valkyrie possesses a high defensive efficiency. Their forward guard not only reduces incoming guard damage, but it also grants immunity to CC from the back with the cube. There's one Q blocks here, making them difficult to counter without a grapple. To address this, we previously gave certain classes like Sock Corsair extra flat damage to blocks. However, as following balance patches lowered the defense efficiency of shield classes, like the one we just had that completely nuked these balanced AP DR builds with the blue Skittles, and also the AP change in general, class getting more AP just deals more damage to these blocks. These fixed damage values remain unchanged, making it nearly impossible for them to maintain their block in large-scale combat. Consequently, extra fixed damage to blocks is being removed from all skills, including Succession Corsair. We will closely monitor shield classes in small-scale combat, such as Arena of Solar, and apply further adjustments if they become too dominant. So currently in the meta right now, even if you're standing Q block, the moving damage and everything, you can just kill people standing. You can't really stand there and hold the high damage in AOS, at least last season. We don't know what the gear is going to look like. We should be getting it this month. But yeah, unless you can go really tanky, you can't just stand there and tank damage. Note that while Succession Corsair loses its guard break specialty, it retains the no block recovery debuff to maintain its advantage against forward guard. Finally, we have implemented class-specific balance patches. These changes are designed to reinforce unique playstyles, compensate for shortcomings, or tone down overperforming classes. Yeah, we'll see about this one. We'll see about this one. We will continue to monitor these changes closely after the live service. Thank you. So again, they're not saying that this is the only patch we're getting, but they're not saying we're getting more. They're only saying like, well, they see what happens now, and then maybe in 6 months they'll probably do something. But I guess next Friday we'll find out if more class changes are coming. So let's take a look. I kind of called this when I was reading this live. I saw Warrior and I was like, yes, finally. And then I read what they said here and I actually called it out. I bet that the only change to Warrior is going to be more AP in Sock Warrior kit, and that's it. And that was exactly what it was. Actually called it out. So yeah, Sock Warrior gained 4 more AP. So now Sock Warrior, which again, I don't, like Sock Warrior is not even up big or anything like that, but in terms of stats, now Sock Warrior has the exact same AP, exact same accuracy as Awakening, but it has 35 more DR. It has all, like, a blue DR crystals and a half more passively. So, it's kind of cracked, in stats, but performance, like, it's just, yeah, Warrior just all in all in PvP is pretty down bad outside of, like, 1 versus 1-ing. Right, let's go on here. I don't want to sit here and rant too much about how unhappy I am with this, because I don't play Warrior anymore. Ranger. So Succession Ranger gained a total of 5 AP, 1 AP on every of the passive, for a total of +5. Now, this is some important notes. The PvP damage application rate for each skill has been adjusted so that the PvP damage of the skill remains the same as before. And this is basically a note that's on all classes here, more or less. If 5 AP is going to equalize the same damage reduction here, it kind of, from how AP actually works, depends on the target you're hitting, because of how much percentage increase 5 AP is of effective AP. So this here could be way more. 5 more AP, it could also mean the difference of getting bottom out, basically only getting 5% value of all your AP, or being able to get enough to go over an AP cap and now get full value of that AP, right? So it could be humongous, but it could also be very little if you're hitting a glass cannon, and you have like 1,000 effective AP, or like, yeah, if, let's say 1,000 effective AP, +5 is only 5 per mil. I don't know what's called in English, like 1/10 of a percentage. So that's just how AP works in terms of the efficiency of a sheet AP. So I'm guessing this is probably some average numbers. It will be very individual if this is gonna be better, the same, slightly worse, and all that. Yeah, the only thing that is evident here is that this should be a slight nerf for capped PvP on Sock Ranger. There should be a slight damage nerf, since you won't benefit from the 5 AP, so you're with the cap in capped PvP. But yeah, it's very, very small numbers all the way through, like 0.5% in some cases, right? So, link in the description, of course, but none of these numbers are very big. How the gameplay, we'll have to wait and see. Next up is Awakening. Awakening is getting 2 more AP. The Awakening damage has been adjusted, so the hit is the same. And yeah, basically the same treatment, right? Except here it is just all the damage. It's not just the PvE, sorry, the PvP. So it should maintain the same damage, assuming you get the benefit of 2 AP. So this would also then be a slight nerf if you're over AP caps at a grind spot, and if you're doing uncapped PvP. And elsewhere, well, this should help get into a grind spot, so it should be a slight buff at the lower end of AP for grind spots. Yeah. Surger, +4 AP. There you go, they just get 4 AP. Now, interesting change for Tamer. Interesting for Tamer here is, yeah, they allow you to stay in Awakening longer. When first hit is successful, the stiffness is changed to only apply to monsters, but a forward guard has been added, and then Sky Kick, which I believe is the grab, When you grab in Awakening, you will maintain the Awakening stance. So you don't switch into pre-Awakening. And here, when using a skill linking with the skill's been changed to activate quickly, and you also gained 6 AP as well. For Valkyrie, I read this, I was like, okay, there's gonna be a big one, but it wasn't actually that big. Interesting though, at least in terms of concept. Valkyrie is being updated to better distinguish between Suck and Awakening. Succession will focus on supporting allies and absorbing enemy damage, while Awakening Valkyrie will take on a bruiser role, enduring attacks while dealing strong damage with her Lancia. On paper, this sounded pretty cool, but the changes, it's like, you'll see. Okay, so first off is the heal here. They are making it the same. With Lancia stance, it gives you the crit chance to yourself and allies for 30 seconds, and it gives you the super armor for 3 seconds. That is now also going to be applied in succession. So they're not really taking anything away for the utility for the Lancia, but they're giving more. So I don't know how much this makes it feel like unique identity. But there's like some differences, like Purification. It heals more in succession than it does in Awakening. So yeah. I feel like they could go harder on this. But that's just me. When using a skill in the primary weapon role, the color effects more natural. Speed of the finishing move when using a skill in the primary weapon has been changed to a more natural. Q block has been changed. Instead of being 20 DP, it is now 30 DP in both main hand and the lance stance. However, this ability here, as the value of the damage reduction increased plus 30, this here has been removed. So you used to have a 1 minute buff that gave you 30 DR. That's just removed because you get it on the Q block now. All right. An effect has been added that grants immunity to defense reduction effects for 20 seconds. And the effects are not applied during cooldown. So you can no longer get DP shredded for 20 seconds. I believe Sock Nova has this as well. This is really strong. And then the effects of increasing all hit points for yourself and allies. So this is accuracy, I believe. I'm pretty sure this is accuracy. Has been changed from plus 20 to plus 40. This is succession, right? And the Awakening version has removed the party accuracy buff. So to getting the accuracy buff for your team, it's only succession now. So yeah, my big question is for this, where is the like Awakening Valkyrie buffs? I feel like Sock got some support, right? Sock got some support. And where's this like strong damage buff for Awakening, if that's the role they want to push it into? You lost a little bit of buffs, right? You gained 10 DR, I guess, but I don't know. I think this is a cool idea to have with trying to make these two specs be a little bit more different, but I feel like they need to do more. Next up is some weird changes for Witch and Wizard. I'm just going to reload here to see if there's an update. There's not. Okay. So Witch Wizard gained 4 more AP on their passive. And at least Witch is like Wizard, I believe, is one of, if not the highest AP in the game. Maybe that's changed with the change to AP buffs and wasn't aware, right? But it gained 4 AP. And for Succession, we did the numbers on most of these abilities. Succession Witch, slight nerf on the damage, but a slight buff on the PvP multiplier. So as I say here, the damage and PvP application rate of the following skills has been adjusted. This is the final level skill, the skill previous. Okay, so there's some of those that are nerfed. We have this is just some of the numbers for Awakening. We didn't do all of the other ones. This here is also wrong. It's a wrong number that's used, so ignore this one. But pretty much unchanged between PvP numbers, right? The PvP multiplier and the PvE. So 4 more AP, slight nerf on the multiplier. Again, this means over the cap, it's a slight nerf, but below the cap and getting into spots, it should be a slight buff, and then around regular should be the same. And PvP damage should be the same, except you gain 4 AP. And that's pretty much the way through on all of it. Awakening as well. Shift Q, I believe, is Thorns of Projection. This one here looks to be actually Giga nerfed on the first hit. Alright, first hit looks to be, unless this is a mistake, there's other mistakes in the notes, right? So, looks to be a gigantimous damage nerf on Shift Q on Awakening Witch. In PvP, everything else looks to be pretty much the same. Right, and then you have Awakening Wizard. Again, it's the same. And this is where I had a big question mark. And maybe I'm missing something. Maybe they removed the 10 AP buff that Awakening Wizard has, because they wrote up here. And let me know in the comments down below if you guys can figure this out and what they meant. Maybe I'm missing something, or maybe PA missed something. But they did write here specifically, this update also includes a reduction in PvP applied AP for Scholar and Awakening Wizard. But Awakening Wizard, this here is all the damage. There's one ability here, this one is the same, this identical, 0% damage change on this one. There's one ability that's like a 6% damage nerf. Everything else is identical, but it gained 4 AP. It gained 4 AP in PvP. So I'm so confused that they specify Awakening Wizard getting some nerfs on PvP damage when it literally got a buff. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you can figure that one out. And I do want to say they're doing the opposite on Scholar. So on Scholar actually got the AP nerf in PvP. Multiply is the same, but it lost some AP. So, but it just did the opposite on Wizard. Anyway, Striker gained 4 AP on Succession. Awakening gained 4 AP as well. And there is some changes here to the multipliers. Again, the damage values of following techniques will be adjusted so the damage amount remains unchanged, which would again be a slight nerf on cap stuff, and it should be the same at uncapped, and for PvE, same, right? Mystic, same treatment, 4 more AP, slight reduction, very, very slight. It's very small numbers, guys. Realistically, I doubt we'll feel this. But yeah, it definitely is one of those where we just gotta wait and see. It feels like so big changes for like 0.1s at like a 0.5% changes at the end of the day. It seems just like a lot of work for little output. But maybe it will be impactful. DK! Interesting change here. Awakening DK actually got some big changes. Awakened DK is a class characterized by its ability to switch between melee and ranged combat. Adjustments have been made to provide her with more ways to respond to nearby enemies while maintaining her awakening state. So the first thing here, I was like, wait a minute. But, hold on. The knockdown effects on successful hits have been changed to only apply to monsters. This is for the absolute, this is not Succession. This is only the normal, the awakening version, the absolute Camasylvian slash. This is not affecting Succession, right? So the KD is removed on Camasylvian slash for awakening. However, for Vidya Trap, they added a knockback on the first hit, and they also allow it to link with the Dark Scatter. I couldn't quite figure out which ability that is. However, it's also changed so the stamina is no longer restored while using the skill. And 50% crit rate has been added to the soul. I forgot the real name. And here is the compensating buff for losing the KD. Added a forward guard to using the skill here. And this is our KD skill. And then increase the amount of time the character can rotate relatively to the camera while using the skill. So you basically lost the pre-awaken protected KD. But you got, I think this is a 5-second cooldown. You know what's really cool? We can check this in-game now. So I can show you guys. PA finally added this so you can check all classes in the game, no matter what you're on. So it is this one here. Spirit Blaze got a KD. So it's R&B after using Spirit Blaze. You can use it and you can quick slot it. It's going to be, as you can see here, this is going to be a forward guard KD. Whereas the Vadir trap, this one here is the one that got a knockback. This one has a knockback. And it flows into another one. I'm not sure which one it flows into. But yeah, this one here is a 5-second forward guard now. 5-second forward guard KD. Dark Sky probably. Could very well be, yeah. And also a change to Vadir Self-Righteous. This is the activate that gives you 10% damage. 10% damage. The mental power consumption has been changed. Now it looks to consume 20 mana, increased by 20 mana every 2 seconds. So currently, but this is only for Awakening. The mental power in the Awakening state has changed. So this is only for Awakening. You now consume 20 mana, then 40, then 60. So it would be, quick math, 20 seconds. I'm going to go with 20 seconds. After 20 seconds, you will now consume the 200 mana, right? So that was previously. So up to 20 seconds, it's a massive buff. You're not going to be like running out of mana really. And after that, it's going to go really quick. So it's something you can use whenever you feel like you have an opening, and yeah, you'll be able to keep it on for longer, I guess. And then if you're playing Awakening, you have a bit more like rain stuff, so maybe you can get away and deactivate it without getting CC'd. So this could open up for some interesting usage with a 10% damage buff for Awakening, keeping up longer. And attack power increase has been changed from +12 to +18. And we, in the past, Awakening DK, I think it was, also Sock, got like a 12 AP buff, and it was huge. It completely made the class viable out of nowhere with just the AP buff, nothing else changed. So a 6 AP buff on a class like this, it could also be quite impactful. I am looking forward to seeing how this actually plays out. If there are any Awakened DKs, let me know if you guys are happy about this. But yeah, hopefully Awakened DK is playable now. Okay, LAN changes, they got 2 AP. Socklan +2 AP. And for Shy, okay, so this is something I know a lot of Shy has been talking about. Previously, Shy skill had no down attacks. Since down attack is now required in high-end zones like Star's End and during all the Academy courses, some of his skills have been updated to include down attack. So, quick, 1, 2, 3, down attack has been added. And also here, the AP buff has been increased from 30 to 32. AP Shy is up big. Succession Guardian gains 2 AP as well. 2 AP. And we got the big change here. Removed the additional of block breaking from all classes. Even the one not listed, they lost it, I believe. Maver. Like Sock Maver has some of this. Also, I know the Shift F on Sock Dosa has it, etc, 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 right? So they're just all gone now. And then accordingly, the following change to Sock Corsair specifically, since that was the class for block breaking. And there's actually some pretty crazy stuff in here. Activation speed has been increased. This is the dash. It has been changed from a super armor to an iframe into super armor. So now the shift dashing on Sock Corsair is an iframe. On top of that, they've been changing, they changed this one, Tempest of C. The behavior changed so that attack is triggered quickly, even when used in place. The defense judgment have been changed from a forward guard before attacking to a super armor doing the entire ability. So I can go in here, just real quick show you what ability it is. Again, thank you PA for adding this, man. Oh my god. God mode quality of life change. So Corsair. Let's see if I can find it. This one here, it should be, right? So this one here is a float. I show you the ability. But it's a forward guard before the attacks, and then the CC is unprotected. Now it will be a full super armor ability all the way through. And, are you ready for this? the status effects have changed from floating on the first hit to a stiffen on the first hit and a knockdown on the second hit. That's a pretty big upgrade on a skill. And then special damage have changed from air attack to down attack. Second hit attack flow changed so that it cannot be linked with any other technique except the wave jumping technique. And to match the technical production, the attack range of the first hit has been reduced and the attack range on the second hit has been increased. We're gonna do that after the recording, Nolly. Next up here is this one, the whale one. The duration of the effects not being able to recover block has been changed from 5 seconds to 10 seconds. All the speed reductions are removed. Now this here is totally fine because they then remove the block like the debuff from all other abilities, it seems. So they buffed it from 5 to 10 seconds, but now it doesn't just auto apply. You see here they're removed on all of these. Right, so it seems to be only this one out that does it, so it's a bit more like you do it on purpose kind of deal. It just doesn't apply randomly permanently all over the place. Okay, next up is the Well Dream. Health recovery has been increased from 208 to 400. And health recovery on a successful hit has been changed to a health recovery after using the skill for 500. So this just is a flat heal. You don't even have to hit it. You can just use it. And they also added a minus 36 accuracy debuff for 10 seconds on Romantic Swim. And for Awakening, the Jin Surfing Awakening, the character will no longer rotate according to the camera rotation from the point where movement is stopped. But I don't believe it gets an iframe. Okay, that's some interesting stuff for Awakening Nova, right? Nothing crazy here. Sock Nova gained 4 AP, but no damage changes. Sock Nova is really nice in PvE already. Awakening Nova change. This one here took a little bit to figure out because of like the wording and translation. But it looks like here, right? Awaken Nova is taken control, whatever. Specifically, we have updated Twisted Orbit so that on hits, adventurers can relentless pressure enemies with stab attacks until they hit a CC. So how does this work? You have here these two abilities. Where's my Nova? There we go. Okay. So you have Twisted Orbit and you have Orbit Break. Orbit Break is the iframe dash on a 2-second cooldown, and Twisted Orbit is the LMB. I'll show you here, right? So here, this attack, the launch where you poke, it's a super armor stiffen. Now, whenever you use Twisted Orbit, it resets the cooldown on your Orbit Break, which is the iframe. And you hit something. But now it will also reset itself, it sounds like. Right? So what you can now do is you can iframe, poke, iframe, poke, iframe, poke, iframe, poke, iframe, poke, as long as you have stamina. Unlimited iframe super armor stiffen. Reposition, right? So you go in, you do the LMB poke, you can reposition iframe to the side, try and angle around it. LMB again, iframe, LMB, iframe, LMB. But you have to hit the target, right? It's very low cooldowns. You can't use this out of combat, I believe. So you won't really get any of these, like nothing changes if you're running away. But if you're chasing someone and you're hitting them with this, you are perma-chasing those boys. And remember, it's full protection and with a CC in it. And you can use this to reposition. Yeah. So return to form. Return to form. Should be interesting. Maybe we'll see some Awakening Novas now. Alright, Sage. Nerfed 5 AP. However, the damage values of the following techniques have been adjusted so the damage amount remain unchanged. So yeah, the nerf... oh wait, sorry, they buffed the multipliers. They buffed the multipliers, of course. So 5 AP less, Sage, Sock Sage, I believe, has the highest AP in the game. Especially if you E-buff. But 5 AP less, and then they buffed the multipliers a little bit, which means this should be a buff in uncapped PvP, and it should also be a buff if you're over AP caps at Grindspots. Yeah. It is time. It is time. Out with one great sword, in with another. So I had a plan today. With I've been PvPing a lot more, doing RBF. It's been a lot of fun. Some tournaments coming up, all that, and I basically said today that if Awakening Warrior didn't get any meaningful buffs, then today was gonna finally be the day where I weapon swapped away. And my plan was very simple, because those are two classes I'm playing right now for everything, and I'm really enjoying it. My plan was very simple. I was gonna weapon swap to Savior and tag Awakening Witch. We got new plans, guys. We got new plans. Like, in terms of class design, this here is probably my favorite class. I love vampires, I love dragons, and lightning is badass. And Dracania is like a two-handed, sword-wielding, lightning vampire dragon. It's perfect! I love it! But it just wasn't really up to par, right? Today's patch, oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Sock Dracania has received adjustments to CC effects to prevent her from unintentionally interrupting combos, allowing for cleaner combo extensions. We've also increased stability when diving into enemy lines, while requiring adventurers to position themselves more carefully after subsequent skill combos. So, all the shift abilities here, the stiffness effects given to enemy adventurers at a certain distance when the skill is activated at max capacity has been removed. I'm not gonna lie, my heart dropped a little bit, but then I kept on reading. Oh, let's go. Okay. Shift F, this is the movement ability, charge in, right? And it's a KD. It's a KD. Defense judgment of the skills change to apply forward guard during the skill use. Sorry, it changed from, it's a forward guard right now, it will be forward guard during the gathering and super armor during the attack. So if you're using this with the irons up, it's of super armor movement KD, and it deals great damage. And they added a forward guard to Chain Slash. Chain Slash is S LMB, and that's a KD. So the first one here, let me show you. Eviscerate, it's a forward guard, knock down on the stab attacks. It will now be forward guard while charging up if you want to use it, but a super armor on movement. 8 seconds cooldown. And this one up here. No, it's this one. Sorry. Yeah, this one. It is SLMB. It is a DR reduction, KD. But it's very slow and has 3 attacks. However, you can combo into the second hit, which is this part right here. It's way quicker, and now it's forward guard, and you can go W RMB into it, which is also the iron recovering one. This is gonna be crazy good for comboing, and this is what they're talking about, like using a positioning. So like reposition, so you can get this forward guard KD as well if you need to, and get your DR reduction. Like for me, the DR reduction is the big thing. But that's huge, and it gets better. Added effect of Heart of Magtheridon when using the Shift C, I think this is. Yeah, no, SC. This is the SC skill. It's a super armor 360 explosion, and it chunks. This is a super hard hitting ability. And Heart of Magtheridon, that is the heal. So it restores HP, which is very important when you're in a ball in a group you're demonstrating. So this is a massive buff to survivability. But here comes the chicken dinner. This is Brimbolt Strike. This is the Shift RB ability. This is straight up 80%, I want to say, of the damage in the kit. I do believe this is the hardest hitting ability in the game if you factor in the flow. But correct me if I'm wrong, right? But I think it might literally be the hardest hitting ability in the entire game with the flow. And it's gonna go from a 12-second to a 10-second cooldown. Now for PvP, this is massive, but it's also massive for PvE. I played Sockdrag a while ago after I got some buffs just to test some PvE. And it feels so bad. Every time Brimbolt is up, you destroy a pack, but then you're waiting 12 seconds. Massive, massive buff. But wait, there is more. My biggest issue with this class, and the reason that I just always untag it eventually, is how bad it feels when you don't have irons. It feels so bad when you don't have irons. And then also, it feels a bit slow for me. But we'll just get a Shining Alchemy Stone and then the speed. But the iron stuff, it's improved a little bit. However, this is the flow from Brimbolt Strike. The skill's additional hit damage have been changed to always be applied at maximum output, regardless of whether the skill is at maximum output or not. Now, this could mean two things before we go too crazy and celebrate. It does say the additional hit damage. I'm hoping that it means that the entire ability is max, and it just basically nukes as if it has full iron up. But realistically, it's only gonna be a portion of the damage. And you can see here you have the attack damage, and then you have extra attack damage, which is 3082 times 1, max 2 hits at max irons, and then the succession, which is also an additional 2369 damage, right? So that's going to be 6000 damage. However, that is at a 65% PvP ratio. So that's a big part of damage in PvP. And you also have that here, right, with the extra damage. So I don't think it means that the entirety of the damage is as if it's ironed up, but at least the extra bonus damage looks to be full ironed, which also then affects PvE, because all that extra damage is not applied in what's it called, without irons up. So it feels really, really weird. Most of that, you will never use this without full irons though, in PvE at least. But yeah, just make it feel less bad if you end up using this without irons. Super nice changes, the cooldown here and everything. I am definitely gonna give this a go. I think I'll be weapon changing today, and then I'll be tagging Sockdrag. Now I just need to take out my main hand weapon. But anyway, next up, every ball, the Megu, Scalding, -2 AP. However, the damage is the same, so slight coefficient buffs at the cost of 2 AP. Pretty much the same as all those other classes. For Dosa, again, pretty much the same, +2 AP, like a 1% damage nerf on these abilities. So same, if you overcaps, cap PvP and all that, tiny 1% nerf maybe, but below it could be a buff. Scholar lost 5 AP. However, the damage value of the skills and ratios adjusted, so there's no change in PvE damage. Yeah, so slight buffs here on the ratio, but then a nerf on the PvP damage, so the PvP damage should remain the same, which means Scholar just basically lost 5 AP in PvP, which, if you know about Scholar base stats, is very, very deserved. She might have like the highest total base stats of any class in PvP right now. So yeah, it's like the biggest stat checker. Scholar buff. Yeah, uncapped it would be, no, it should be the same uncapped, because they buffed the ratio, but they nerfed the PvP damage. And these are two things that will affect you over the cap, so the damage should remain the same. She just lost 5 AP below caps. The capped PvP, all that stuff should remain identical. But she will be getting a tiny PvE buff, right? If she's over caps. If you're over the AP caps, it will be a PvE buff. But PvP should remain identical if you're capped, but 5 AP loss on uncapped. Right, and Wukong, I'm gonna be honest, I have no clue what these changes mean. I've never played Wukong, and the wording on Wukong is always so weird. So I will just wait for Devious to let us know what this actually means, but I will read it for any of the Wukong players out there that actually understands these words. So, the hair effect of the Jason Daesung has changed as follows. I believe this is the awakening form, right? It's just like the hair effect. Okay, the effects of rushing to a target hit by Ryu Bang, while the hair effect of Jason Daesung is applied, has been removed. And when a player acquires a skill, it's been changed to apply permanently, regardless of the hair effect of Jason Daesung. As follows, if you lock the skill, the rushing the target will not be triggered. And then the following techniques have been changed to apply to the Jason Daesung hair effect when hitting an enemy. The Gout of Tulsa Palace gets stuck, and then when using the skills below with the hair effect of the Great Heavenly King in effect, the clone summoned through the hair of the Great Heavenly King will now attack. This class is so weird. With a stun effect. So I think this here means that you have like this shadow or whatever, like clone appearing. It will now do a stun effect. It will now CC, I guess. And we're running away and the stuff here. Okay, so Devious is unhappy. Yeah, Devious been in general like pretty unhappy with all the changes done to Wukong. And it's not like Wukong has been making a reappearance, right? So, yeah. Here we go. Like, this is the abilities. As the hair effects have changed, the clone summon has been changed to always activate. Before, summon a clone while the hair effect is in effect. And now, regardless of whether the hair effect is applied, summon a clone when using a skill. And then here, before knockback on successful hit, applied to monsters. After change, knockback on successful hit. The class is unplayable. Okay. If I were to guess, it's probably because it messes up like the one working combo or something. Sometimes even getting CCs on abilities is not a buff, it's a nerf. But I have no clue about this class. So I couldn't tell you. But Devious is unhappy if that's anything to go by. Deadeye gain 2 AP. Now, luckily, I am a Sock Drag main. So I'm just going to enjoy Shift F into Shift R and B to blast these Deadeye standing. But if I weren't a Deadeye main, if I weren't a Sock Drag main, I would be very, very, very unhappy that there's no PvP changes to this class for AOS season coming in. But yeah, like for PvE, much deserved. It does need some love in PvE. I don't know, man. Change like one more Superman to a front guard, I beg. For Seraph, okay. There's nerfs. Seraph is actually nerfed. Is it enough? Is it too much? We'll find out. In large-scale combat, Seraph has been able to consistently pressure the enemy's flanks thanks to its high mobility. However, with the addition of skill enhancements, Rabam skills, its intended weakness of limited ability to inflict damage while being protected has faded. So they did say when they put out the class that they wanted it to be a combo class like Awakened Warrior, where you get the CC, but then you're gonna have to do some unprotected stuff to do a good combo and secure kills. But she has so much super armor now, and especially the first Rabam, which is a super armor damage nuke, is so good. You really don't need to be unprotected, and with the shift Q, you can do a forward guard DP threat as well in group fighting if you want to. So yeah, she doesn't really have that weakness. So currently, the class can deal damage while remaining protected and mobile. To address this, we're adjusting the class to preserve its burst mobility while making it harder to sustain mobility indefinitely. So they're just gutting stamina. First off is the dash. The second and third dash will cost 100 stamina up from 50. Currently, here again, I can show you guys, so you know. I know a lot of people are playing the class, but also a lot of people are playing against the class. So it's always a good idea to know what's going on here. The first thing that's happening is the dashing. You have the Vanguard, which is the iframe ability. It's no changes to this, but the follow-up 2 dashes, they are costing double stamina. Now, this is not a big deal. It's like, yeah, it's 200 stamina if you used it off cooldown, right? But the next up is the WLMB, which is our forward movement CC. And I'll show it for people that are unaware of these. The WLMB is this one right here. Super Armor Stiffen. This is going to cost 200 stamina, up from 75 on a 5-second cooldown. The next one is the WF, which is another Super Armor CC. Those are the ones you're spamming on this class, which is a Super Armor knockback. And that one is getting changed from 150 to 200. And finally, the best ability in the kit, Shift F. This is the Super Armor forward guard bypassing knockback multi-hit CC that also heals you. It will no longer recover stamina. And yeah, this here, like this is the best ability in the kit. This is the one that ties everything together. So no longer recovering stamina on top of all the protected movement CC abilities, getting huge stamina increases. And then finally over here on the dark form, the WASD RMB ability, which is our movements, is gonna be usable on cooldown, which is really good. That is so nice. I do wonder if it keeps its super armor. I wouldn't be surprised if this is missing that super armor won't be applied during cooldown, right? But having this, especially in PvE for repositioning behind mobs and all that, it is so nice. Super, super, super amazing change for the dark form. But yeah, like in terms of what this will mean for Seraph, it's not gonna kill her. I'm gonna play her. I'm still playing her. I'm gonna be weapon swapping to her today. I'm gonna do the 2v2 tournament as well. I'll be practicing a lot. Obviously, once you play with this, it might be a huge stamina nerf. It might be but realistically, you're gonna have to Q block a lot more. You're gonna have to use your super armor, whatever, right? You can't perma move. This will burn through your stamina fairly quick. So this is good. Is it enough? Is it too little? That will remain to be seen. Yeah. This definitely hurts a specific playstyle of the class, which is the correct playstyle right now. So yeah, it might have a bigger actual gameplay impact than I would think, but this is massive stamina nerfs. Right, there's some other small changes here. Nothing really. It's just some fixes, some disappearing stuff. Right. Issue where all evasion reduction were applied, even using doing cooldown. Right. So small bug fixes. Next up is more inland fishing revenue adjustments. They are now buffing Valencia and the Grana fishing. So that's cool. Apparently, it was kind of broken with the first 2 regions. So they got nerfed. You see here, the chance of getting the Piranha in Heidel has reduced by 39%, and in Calthin reduced by 36%, so they're nerfing it. You might want to go in there, get some fishing done, while it is still busted, and maybe when we get this patch, we head out and we go out and fish, and maybe it's busted until they nerf it again. I'm definitely gonna give this a go and see how this works out, but the rainbow fish in the inland lake of Valencia, you're gonna get the rainbow fish appearing by approximately 10x, and the dolphin has begun appearing in larger cities in Grana or Camasilvia, and it is probably twice the chance of before. Is Grana? Good question. It's a good question. Up here it does say Grana, and it's spelled correctly, right? So I'm guessing it will be Grana. There's no images to show, unfortunately. All the Academy graduation schedule information, yada, yada, yada. We know this. It's coming out next week. You can graduate. Should you graduate? I don't see a reason to. If you want to, if you're done, if you got all the stuff, sure, might as well. Unless you want to do the weekly quest, which are getting nerfed in a good way. The good nerf. Big notice here, very important. The old Node War PvP medals are getting removed the 15th. That is next week's, well, not next patch, but next week's patch. They're getting removed in 9 days from now, guys. Make sure you use them if you want to. They will be transformed into the Seals of Reward at a 300-to-1 ratio. Now, just FYI, 300 seals is exactly 1 Grindstone with these rewards. So make your decisions accordingly. For every seal you have, every medal, you could let it be and will turn into 1 Grindstone in value. So depending on the cost of perfumes, I just turned all of mine into deep sea perfumes. They're max price on NA. But yeah, basically 24 million silver value for perfume in Grindstones. So yeah, make your decision accordingly. Life tonic will be deleted and silver will be paid in proportion to the number deleted. 1 tonic, 9 million silver. And if you have honorable, courage perfume, deep sea, calx, blah 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 blah, each item will change to its original state and the process life tonic and you'll get 9 million silver. So don't use those yet. Yes. And here, okay, this here is something I know people have been asking about a lot. It is in, and this means that this might be something PA does to more items. Improvements have been made to allow for the items below to be sold to the shop. Not in, to, you can sell, you can vendor these items now, guys. Distorted primal fragments. This is the items used to make the tri-enhancing stones for Fallen Guard armor. This is half of the min price. 50 million silver to the vendor. The silent fragment, 65 million. The full crystals, 2.5 billion vendor. And the silent one, 3.2. So this is half cost of the min price. But these don't sell. Like the silent ones do, right? But it's also a future proofing on it. You can now vendor these items for 50 mil a pop. Pretty cool. Pretty cool change. And it still means that it's way better, even with tax and everything, if you can sell them. If you can sell them on the marketplace, you still get more out of it. So it won't mean that these items disappear from the marketplace altogether, because that would be bad for new players potentially using them. So this might be huge money for some people out there. Great silver increase. And I guess this opens up for them doing it to other items from Grindspots that are worthless min priced as a way to secure some sort of value from them on items that will never sell. Yes. Improvements made so that the ancient anvil value is not reset in case where reinforcement is successful with 100% probability, such as through forced breakthrough or using a guaranteed reinforcement stone. Example, the Dark Star Blackstone when making a pin weapon. Someone I know used the stone on a 13 pity. 13 pity, and basically just lost out on a pin, right? They're 2 tab away from a pity. So, good change. About damn time. Yeah. Okay. Another great change here. So again, like, I think the patch is really good. It's just the class changes. I don't really think they're bad. I just feel like there is missing stuff. That's why I have a bit of a sour taste in my mouth after this patch. Everything in it is pretty darn good, but it's just missing things. But yeah, here, Orbiter Castle, legitimately the hardest spot in Edania, in my humble opinion. And one of the reasons is the Orbiter Light buff you get. It gives you minus 30 DR. That is now being removed. So, yeah, you no longer get minus 30 DR, and 30 DR is a ton. So the likelihood of you dying randomly, getting exploded, is just less. It'll probably still happen, but it's significantly less. So great to see this W change. And there's actually a bit more. Improvements were made to allow you to more quickly deal with the condensed purification aura that appears in Nymphere Castle Honeyground. And also in Zephyr Castle Honeygrounds, the lava zone hatchery has changed to emit a strong eruption of remaining energy and no longer hit adventurers when killing monsters. Now this here could mean two things. I'm not sure which one it is. Either whenever you start grinding, you no longer get the dot while grinding, not just during the AFK phase, but maybe doing the entire grind. Or during the AFK phase, you sometimes get like a hit which knocks you out of UI, the map, and things like that. It does no damage, but it has like a stupid... It's one of those two things, and I think it might be the hit. But yeah, good regardless. All the Academy objectives for certain All the Academy quests have been adjusted for easier completion. Some good stuff here. Additional for alchemy and cooking lessons where materials were provided via quest. We've implemented improvement. Even if a small amount of materials is accidentally lost or used up, you can still complete the quest. So currently, you have to view this from a new player. When you get the materials to make a cooking or alchemy quest, you get exactly enough for them, like input to output. So if you use them for something else, or if you accidentally put too many materials in for one craft, well, you won't get enough output at the end. So now there's a bit of leeway, so you shouldn't be stuck there trying to figure out how to get the materials now. And they are reducing a lot of these quests as well. I gave up killing the pirate. I had the 200 quests right now. I killed 1,000. I was like, I'm done. Whatever. Go again next week, right? But now it'll probably autocomplete for me. Okay, so the pirates from 2k to 1k, or the 1k to 500, 1,500 to 1,000, 2,000 to 1,500, and for the hunting one, from 10 of the birds to 5. I know this one here has been the most mentioned one from in the previous comments about all the changes, asking for this one. The leaves from 1,000 to 500, so you should be able to do it a lot quicker now. And then the crafting here with the alchemy and cooking, 50 greens to 40 and 100 to 90. Next up is the conditions preventing you from accepting timber needed by the vigilance have been, when completing the 2 quests, have been removed. Elenes and a flow. The items required for the quest, daily quest, Young One, Indomitable Lion who cuts through the darkness, has been changed. Currently, it's 1 materials of the Valterra Passion. This is the pity pieces, I think, for the potion, right? It's been changed now to a fragment. Those are the shards you get for the cups. Also, the rare hammer selection box. Now you can see it under your challenges. Now it shows on the challenges instead of unacceptable. We got some mount stuff here. A nice little improvement. We've been closely monitoring your feedback following the mount level up system. In today's update, we've improved the stable and mount information UI to display the level up progress immediately without needing to press the level up button. This is nice. I was leveling up some horses 2 days ago, and I was like, come home, like sat down after a night of training, and like, wait, what level are they? That's nice. I figured it out and then, but it was super annoying. So this is good. You can just see it now. We also added a feature to reach max level in one go. Just click, boom, max level if you have the XP. Or like max level of the XP you have. We'll continue to refine the system to maximize its benefits while minimizing any convenience. Thank you. So yeah, that's the TLDR there. For UI, there's some added help button for the party finder and fix the position for the wave crystals. System stuff here. This is actually very nice. Whenever you have like on the party finder, if you want to join a party and it has a gear requirement, you have to be on the character with the gear. They're changing that. Now, as long as you have the requirement on any character, then you can apply for the party. Because like a lot of times you're probably going to stand in there doing life skilling maybe, or fishing, you look for a party, maybe you're RPing in the Invilia rooftop or whatever, right? And you want to join a party, now you can apply, and then whenever the party's good to go, you can log on the character you need to do it with. W changed. And this one here is actually a nice change, but I also know exactly why they did it. So it's a good change, but it's also a bit funny. Now you can automatically continuously open boxes in the roulette system. So this here is just straight up a whale buff. Whenever people like whaling the gamba boxes, sitting there and having to open like a box within a box, like you whale out 100 boxes and just sit there and you spam 100 space bars, and then you spam 50 space bars, 25, and then you get seals, you get some more. And at the end of you click spacebar 5,000 times and your fingers are falling off, and all you wanted was just swipe and get some gear easy, and you actually had to work for it. So that is done. There we go. 10x spin. You know what? That should be next. Oh my god. Yeah, open 10 at a time. Oh my lord. Titanium, I love it. I love it. So yeah, great buff for the whales out there. Don't forget to sell costumes, not just hold the Grindstones, guys. Be the change you want to see in the world. Another W quality of life. Added the ability to automatically place item in your family inventory and the upgrade bag. So, I guess I can show here real quick. You can go in and you can go here and you can say auto move to all, no available slot, item, whatever, right? Auto move. So you can auto move. Guess I can do this. There we go, right? And then it will move all to the correct storage. Right. Now you can do that with your family and enhancing bag. You can open them up, you can move, and you can click move all and move them into the correct bags. Nice. And we got some fixes and changes. I will just read through this. There's a few ones that's actually nice for some people. So this one here I'm going to read through. There's nothing like game breaking, I believe, right? But let's go through it. For Lan, Dark Knight, and Nova, the issue where the Idana armor effects did not appear in Awakening state has been improved. Great for the RP players. Visual. It actually matters a lot. Like, unironically, like, don't mess up with the visual stuff, PA. Fix an issue where the Scarab was not visible in non-combat on the Red Lord. On Dracania, fixed the issue of the half-tied hair part. Adjusted. Gosa Assassin, the issue where the hair appearance was awkward with the Yaona's helmet has been fixed. Fixed issue where some part of the armors were awkwardly exposed when wearing these two armors together. Fixed issue where some monsters would be summoned unnatural and characters with the Abyssal Echo. For the Academy here, the issue where treasure chests would be unnaturally summoned after defeating monsters appear in the Echo has been fixed. Information regarding the obtained relics incorrectly described. A notice has been added to the Olvia Academy weekly commission stating that it can only be accepted if you are an Olvia student. And message has been added to life lessons that if you abandon the quest, requires you craft an item, the progress will be reset. The issue where the guild manor would be removed when returning to the manor that was not set as the guild representative manor has been fixed. An issue where the resident score would display a 0 when completing crafting an item using a cooking in the manor has been fixed. Requirements of certain items, production notes were not fully displayed. Added ability to check creation pigment items and crafting notes. The text, the time text has been changed to scribe selection Rift UI. The 6 inscription have been improved. I don't know what that even is. An issue where the awkward movement was drawing weapons after using mount skill has been fixed. Bottom not working, clicking text in the Mars info breeding. Scroll with unnatural clicking. Dying horse gear has been fixed. Information screen on the right of the stable not displaying. Found a crocodile nest. Text issue. Certain part appeared awkward, Valentine's background. Song playing. Songs with a playing time exceeding 24 hours can no longer be uploaded to the composition notes. Which one of you guys did the 1,000 or 100 hours upload just to crash the servers? Okay, official website, security enhancing. Yeah. So, that is the patch today, guys. Honestly, I guess I'm happy that they are doing some class adjustments. I had it like as a meme that surely they're gonna do some class stuff before AOS. They actually did. I don't think it's enough. We finally got some. Please keep going, PA. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I'll see you all in the next one.